From fear to freedom. Wow, right? How many of you struggle with fear out there? That you're just afraid that if you step into another thing or do something that is against the grain, that you just are overwhelmed with fear. Well, I want to bring you from fear to freedom. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Straight Talk, and I'm your host, Maria Sestero. And we're going to talk about exactly that, fear, and then just bring it to freedom. I I know for myself, I had numerous times where the fear was just overwhelming in what I wanted to accomplish in life. And it was scary. It was something that I didn't think I could ever overcome. I was convinced that I was never going to be successful. I was paralyzed by my limited belief system that I had. And unfortunately, a lot of that comes from your past, and I'm not blaming anyone. It's just really how that all came about and how you not necessarily were raised, but sometimes it's what you deal with in school. And it just creates someone that you're really not. I didn't realize I had the potential I had until I really started to push through a lot of my fear. So sometimes, and I'm going to give you a couple of things to go by so that you can, put these into play for yourselves and to create the success that you so deserve. I want to see all of you out there getting what you need out of life. I don't want you sitting back and just falling victim to this inflation. I want you to go out and live your life with what you believe you deserve. All right. So the first thing that I want you to do is just decide to succeed. That's it. Just make the decision. Decide that this is for you. Decide what it is that you want in your life and go with it. And that's one of the things that most people never do is they never actually decide what they want to do. They kind of do I kind of tried it, I gave it a shot, but it was never a decision. And that's what the Elon Musk's of the world and Oprah Winfrey and all, they made a decision to succeed. And when you make that decision, it's like you've branded it into your calendar that you're going to succeed on whatever day. And that's something that you really need to keep in the forefront, right? So once you truly decide to go for your dream, you have to decide that there is no other option. And that includes fear and doubt. Okay. Number 2, embrace the risk. Learn to embrace it. Chase after your fears and show them who is the queen or king, right? Show your fear who is in control. So embrace it, embrace the risk. Number 3, prepare yourself. Sometimes, you decide you're going to do something, but you don't actually prepare that there's going to be challenges. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be failure. And that is some of the biggest things that people they just see successful people and they think, oh, that was so easy for them. Well, no, it's not. And it wasn't. There's a lot of things that you had to overcome. There's a lot of, people that you have to contend with that maybe they don't see eye to eye or, whatever it may be. So you have to prepare yourself for that. But you also have to prepare that not only are they going to come up, but that you will overcome it and that you have to be solution oriented to do so. So you have to go with the flow. Let go of your resistance of the present moment and see what happens, right? It's a little scary, but you have to let go of it. You have to just say, I'm going to throw it up and I'm going to let it lead me. Just go with the flow. It's going to be fine. Focus on good outcomes. Focus on good outcomes. Expect the best, and then it's much easier to take the action, okay? So focus on it. Learn to relax. Ooh, that's a hard one. I know for a lot of women, at least, relaxing is just not in our nature. For most of us, especially if you are driven, or if you have kids and you have families, learning to relax is actually just that. You have to learn to do it. So if that's you, when you feel stress and anxiety coming on, Deep breaths can help actually make a big difference. So just take those deep breaths in, you can hold it and then release, and that will help to calm you and make for a better day. Okay. Fully engage in your life and get away from the news. Ooh. Guys, listen, the news is the news. I don't care who you're watching. They are there to get ratings. Remember that. They're there to get ratings. Your life should not depend on what people are saying on the news. So get rid of it. Shut it down. Don't worry about what's in the newspaper. Don't worry about what's on the news. Worry about you and your family and getting through, what it is that's holding you back. All right. And here's the other thing. Instead of sitting back and watching the news, why don't you start getting to where you go out and create a life for yourself? Meaning, start going hiking, go for walks, take the time you used to take to watch the news and go and do something that will make you happier. All right. Realize that you are enough. Realize that you are enough. Don't worry about who's put you down in the past. Don't worry about what other people said in their moment of, you'll never be able to do that. I had somebody literally laugh at me when I had decided to open up a business for myself, and, laughed and said it'll never work. Meanwhile, I had $11 in my bank account. I had $11.49 that my daughter's formula was. And I was in a sink or swim situation. So it hurt when that person laughed at me and said it'll never work. But I had no choice. So I had to learn to overcome the fear. Because once that happened, I doubted myself even more. I was reluctant even more, but I had to push through. And I can tell you it turned out to be very successful. So don't let somebody else's words dictate your direction, okay? And just realize that you're enough. Start small, put things that are least scary first. Get rid of them first. Then just, move on, move up the ladder, one thing at a time. You can do this. You can absolutely do this. So don't allow people to get in your way, or don't allow the fear, I should say, to get in your way. If it's the biggest fear, put it at the back, but start with the smaller fears. Overcome them. That will start to give you practice, and that will also start to give you confidence that you can overcome it, okay? The only way that you can actually be rid of all your fears and become free of them is to conquer them. Yep. That's how you do it. Just go out and conquer them. Okay. So I hope that this helped. From fear to freedom. I want to see all of you free. I want you to take the shackles of the fear off of you and run and live your very best life that you absolutely can. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. This is Straight Talk. I'm your host, Maria Sestero, and I will see you again next week.